so I don't know whether to laugh, rant, sigh. I mean, I suppose buckle in. This is going to be a rant video. Oh, your Star Wars fan finally ruined Star Wars. Oh, you, Matt Miller. We're going to have some words, Matt Miller. Hello, everyone. I am Mecha Random 42, your favorite YouTube harpy, and shout out to Darth Shatner who sent me this article. Oh my god. Where do we begin? I guess I just gotta jump right into this. Oh my lord. In 2018, a loud movement of racist, misogynist trolls derailed the beloved family sci-fi franchise. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? I don't know how to contain my anger on this one, so... Oh, I'm redlining too. I'm shouting so much, I'm redlining on my broadcasting software, so hopefully it won't just completely glitch out from my audio. I am, like, livid at the title of this article. Let's just get into it. And, you know, I love... You know, it's one thing to have, like, one or two jerks out there who might be actually racist or misogynist. It's the minority. I have dealt with and interacted with and befriended many, many people in the fandom menace. Not one of them are just sexist, racist, misogynist pieces of crap like this guy here, Matt Miller, would like us to believe. You gotta stop spinning these articles to pit these goddamn studios against people. Because guess what? We won't give you any more money, studios, when you're pulling this crap and you're letting these people like Esquire magazine online run with these narratives that we suck. You know, oh yes, please tell me how much I suck and how much of a racist and misogynist I am and a sexist or whatever. Let me give you my money. Really? Do you think we are that stupid? Disney. Do you really think we're that stupid? Lucasfilm, we are not so stupid that we're going to keep giving you money. We're not going to see this goddamn movie if you keep letting this sort of narrative out there. We aren't that stupid, and we're going to fight you back. What are you going to do? You own everything. Well, guess what? We have ways around that. We make our own entertainment. We have found more entertainment in channels that rant about this crap and pick apart the behind-the-scenes drama and the bullshit from Lucasfilm and Star Wars and Disney and CBS for that matter. You're losing. You need these articles to to grasp for the last little straw that you can grasp for, because we are winning. You know damn well we're not giving you any more money. You know damn well your properties are failing. You know damn well you're not making the money that you should be making with Star Wars. So you got to attack the fans. Let's read the article. I don't even want to read the article. Some of my earliest memories about movies are Star Wars, taking old wrapping paper tubes, playing lightsabers with my dad, dressing up as Luke Skywalker, desperately wanting the Millennium Falcon Lego set, watching the original VHS box trilogy, having to fast forward through Leonard Martin's boring interview with George Lucas every goddamn time. So maybe you're one of the toxic people, too. You didn't like George Lucas or the interview. Maybe you're part of the problem, Matt Miller. Did you ever think of that? Is that his name? I don't even remember that's his name. Matt Miller? Matt Miller. Maybe you're part of the problem. You are very negative and toxic right here. It's a boring interview every goddamn time. That's what you're saying right here. Maybe you are one of these toxic asshole fans that you're talking about. That's what Star Wars has always been to me, a movie that shaped my childhood along with the understanding of good and evil, Luke, Leia, Obi-Wan, and Yoda. All of these characters aided in honing my own moral compass through my formative years. Of course, I grew up, but I never forgot the characters or their values. In fact, I'm somewhat ashamed to admit that I cried in the theater when I, then a grown-ass adult, watched Han Solo die. Oh, you cried like a little bitch, did you? Okay, so we can rub that in your face, you little toxic man baby. You're just a man baby. You should not be so attached to these characters if you're gonna cry when Han Solo, it's just a character in a movie. Maybe you should man up and not be such a man baby crying at a character's death. See, 2 can play at that game. It was like losing a member of my own family. Well, then you should know why we're so upset, you piece of shit. Even then, tearing up during The Force Awakens, I had no idea that just 3 years later, the mention of Star Wars would fill me with dread. Me too. These days, Star Wars coverage is a large part of my job. As a cultural critic writer and editor, hardly a week goes by where I don't touch something Star Wars related. Since Disney rebooted the franchise, it's produced some of the highest grossing movies of the last 4 years, not to mention the limitless news, takes, and theories about each film. But within the past year, the conversation about Star Wars has gotten deeply unpleasant. Well, yeah, because they made a shit movie. They've made 2 kind of shit movies. Last Jedi really tanks how good The Force Awakens was, and Force Awakens was a solid 6. And now, because of The Last Jedi, probably around a 4. Maybe lower. I've gotten literal death threats, been called homophobic slurs, even called racist towards Star Wars fans about a movie that defined my childhood. And this isn't a problem limited to my experience. Oh no, my online harassment has paled in comparison to others, specifically the female stars of the 2 films. Oh, you mean the speculative stuff that if you trace it back long enough, it was all made up bullshit? It was speculation. It was a rumor that was started on some blog somewhere that with actually no proof. Not only that, Kelly Marie Tran has gone to the New Yorker and stated that it was Hollywood who bullied her, not the fans. But they spun the article in their own narrative and put the headline up there that she talks about being bullied off of social media, and she really actually wasn't. But yes, so you're part of the problem by just reading the headlines and not paying attention. And that's because over the past year, the conversation surrounding Star Wars has devolved into something ugly and unrecognizable. Yeah, like when you're calling us, what is this? The fans ruined Star Wars. Racist, misogynist trolls. This is why it ruined Star Wars. Because of people like you. You have ruined Star Wars. Mitch Miller, Michael Miller, Matt Miller, whatever crap your name is. Matt Miller. You've ruined Star Wars by taking this negative position against the fans. You have ruined Star Wars. People like you, Disney, your corporate overlords who run and rule and pay for all your news sites. You have ruined Star Wars. The fans have not. Where was I? This is why I usually put myself on camera. And that's because over the past year, conversations surrounding Star Wars has devolved into something ugly and recognizable, whereas the vocal majority of Star Wars fans were once simply passionate people who cosplay and debate the logistics of the Kessel Run. Now they've been overpowered on the internet, at least. Yes, by the internet itself, by the media, by the shill media sites who like to call us racist, misogynist, man-babies, basement dwellers, sexist, whatever else. Star Wars and a loud section of Star Wars fans have tragically become synonymous with hate, bigotry, pervasive assholeness in 2018, because of people like Jason and Amanda Ward from StarMakingWars.net. These hateful news sites that represent, Swankmatron, Brian Young, another one. These people represent Lucasfilm, whether indirectly or directly. And they're the ones out there perpetuating this crap. They're the ones with the little fanboy tears mugs that they're hiding behind. These are the toxic fans you were talking about. These are the people who cannot let us say we dislike these movies without being personally attacked and being called all these names by these mimics, these corporate mimics, these people who are just out there to repeat everything that the shill media likes to give them as buzzwords to repeat, like racist, misogynist, man-baby, basement dweller. These are all these buzzwords that the toxic studios use against us. And I'm gonna link my my toxic studio video in the description below so you guys can kind of see. I've been fighting these articles for months because I'm tired of it. I am tired of it. I am not going to give money to people who insult me. Screw that. The hate almost began immediately after The Last Jedi hit theaters to positive reviews from critics. Well, critics who are not allowed to give negative reviews. That's why. Critic scores and fan scores are 2 completely different things. Days after the movie was released, Rotten Tomatoes was swarmed with negative reviews, making the biggest disparity between fans and critics. Yeah, absolutely. Because the movie was kind of shit. As of this week, the film has a 91% critic and a 45% from fans. It should probably be lower because they're probably removing and discrediting a lot of, actual fan reviews. While many of the fans have legitimate concerns with the actual filmmaking, many of the audiences reviews are coming from a different place, like this comparatively tame one I pulled from a random first page from Rotten Tomatoes. I am still lamenting over how terrible the movie was. I have to pretend I never saw it just to get me through the day. We're not buying your political agenda. I didn't see Solo as a way of giving the finger to Rian Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy, as many others did the same. There's nothing wrong with that review. There really isn't. And I don't like personally saying that they're putting like the political spin on the movies. What they are doing is trying to brainwash the masses like this Matt Miller person with the articles, with the buzzwords. They leak these buzzwords into our culture through the media articles, through the headlines, because people hear that and they repeat it. You know, that this is why sayings like "get woke, go broke" are big, because people hear them and they get into our speech patterns and into our subconscious. This became the narrative surrounding Star Wars and the rejection of The Last Jedi through 2018. Emboldened members of the far right. I'm left. I don't like Star Wars: The Last Jedi. I don't like the politics part of it. But the worst part of it is being called far right or Trump voting or whatever. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I don't want to talk politics one way or another. I think they're both shit, and they'd be a lot better if, you know, they just let me take over, because at least I know what to do to get things done and to shake things up. But that being said, this shit, you guys are the ones making it political by saying anybody who hates the film is far right. Anybody, you know, and anybody who defends it is a leftist. That is the thing. And that is not the case. There are people on the right who defend the film. There are people on the left who hate it. And it's like you're discrediting anybody's opinion who is on the left who hates Star Wars: The Last Jedi, or who's a woman. It's like, I'm not allowed to have an opinion. Only white men with, you know, about the age of 40 are allowed to have a negative opinion of The Last Jedi. And that's what they try and say, and that's what they try and spin with these articles. That's why they use the politics in the articles to try and spin that narrative. And how many times do I see it in my comment section and everything else? And I'm trying to break that speech pattern with everybody. We know where it's coming from. We know that the toxicity is coming from the studio down. We know it's coming from Kathleen Kennedy down. She refers to Star Wars fans as those people. She doesn't like us. She doesn't like Star Wars. We know that. And we know that it bleeds down. It trickles down into the media, into how they perceive us, into what they're allowed to write about us as fans. And it's bullshit. Let's see. From the beginning, it was a progressive franchise, even considering some of the embarrassing Hollywood norms of the 70s. George Lucas gave Princess Leia a blaster and had her take charge of her own rescue, while many women on screen at the time remained the damsel in distress. Yes, see, so your argument right there is false. We know Star Wars has always been progressive. Now it's regressive to the point where you have to emasculate all the men on screen, which is bullshit. It is absolute bullshit. This minute video will probably be demonetized too, so who knows? Because I'm swearing a lot, because I'm angry. And that's what happens. We swear when we're angry. The rebels fought against the totalitarian empire that not so subtly resembled Nazi Germany. You know why it did? Because everybody can agree that Nazis were bad. It's a real simple concept. Little kids can get it. Nazi bad, you know, good guys, you know, it's like Westerns. Bad guys wear black hats, good guys wear white hats. It's the same thing. It's very simple stuff that little kids can grasp. That's why they use Nazis. Oh. The film was, or at least for the genre of films of its time, widely progressive. Yes, it was. Yet somehow in 2018, simply including women and actors of color in the Star Wars universe is pushing a political agenda. No, it's not. That I don't believe that is the thing. They Game Master, thank you for being a brand subscriber. I always forget to turn off my notifications. If you do subscribe during a video while I'm making a video, you'll be immortalized. But here's the thing. The political agenda that they're trying to push, I think, is widely exaggerated in a lot of the fandom menace, and that's fine if that's what you see in it, and there's nothing wrong with that, because, you know, they are really shitty towards men in this film. I will 100% hands down see that. The bigger problem is the treatment of the fans by calling us toxic, racist, sexist, misogynist. That is the bigger problem, whatever the politics or the agenda. You know, you could have female characters in this movie that are strong, independent, brilliant women. Nobody will care until you start saying, oh, you just don't like it because you're misogynist. And then we fight back with, oh, well, you're just pushing your political agenda on us. And here, my job is to kind of break that pattern, and we'll break it down to who actually is to blame. And it is Star Wars itself, Lucasfilm itself. Fans have always complained about details. We've always nitpicked. We've always gotten on our soapboxes and said, hey, I don't like this continuity thing. Kessel Run, perfect example. We have, like you said, Matt Miller, we've always debated stuff like the Kessel Run. We've always been bitchy and complaining and nitpicky because we're fans, because we love this stuff. We're passionate about it. This type of hatred has begun to ramp up in 2015 when trolls forced Daily Ridley No, they didn't. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say no, they probably didn't. She probably was just too busy for social media. I'm too busy for social media. I have a YouTube channel with 11,000 subscribers. I am too busy for social media most of the time. She's an actress. She goes from press junket to talk show to, filming movies for 16-hour days. She's not gonna have time to mess with social media. This is becoming a fringe involvement that by midway through 2018 has also driven Kelly Marie Tran off social media completely, which is an absolute lie. It is an absolute lie. Like I've been saying, Kelly Marie Tran was off of social media at the exact same time that episode 9 started filming. She suspended her Instagram account, meaning that she wasn't going to be uploading new photos to it, probably because she didn't use it that much. If you look at her history, she didn't use it that much. She did not want any accidental leaks for episode 9, so she suspended it, like you do, because you don't want any leaks for one of these major movies. And if you go back to every time I've made a video on Kelly Marie Tran, the original article is speculation. That they just said, oh, I think she was bullied off of social media. And everybody ran with that like it was truth. Even the New York Times wanted to run with that narrative. It's like they're using this poor actress saying, oh, we can parade her out and get some sympathy points because we'll just say she was bullied. And her own words says that she went to Hollywood having to settle for, the nail salon employee or the waitress and not being the lead actress in the film. Because she's of this participation award generation where everybody gets a medal. Because she's of the generation where she believes falsely that she can be the lead in any movie. Guess what, Kelly Marie Tran? You're cute. You are not a leading actress. I'm not a leading actress. There is no way my fat ass is going to squeeze into like Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow costume, for example. I'm not a leading lady. You're not a leading lady. Be happy with what you have. You're a famous actress in a huge movie franchise. You have a job for life at conventions. You have people like Ethan Van Sciver who are making a meme out of liking you, ironically, or legitimately, for that matter, because he knows it's bullshit that you got the short end of the stick. But guess what? We didn't bully you off of social media. Hollywood bullied you. Rian Johnson was shitty to you, and you said right there, and I will link that video in the description below as well, while I pick apart that New York Times article and actually read it instead of just the headline, like so many people do. Oh, it's right here. It's right here. I mean, I don't even need to. I had been brainwashed into believing my existence was limited to the boundaries of another person's approval. See, they're just picking parts of it. I had been tricked into thinking my body was not my own, that I was only beautiful if somebody else believed it, regardless of my own opinion. I had been told and retold by everyone, the media, by Hollywood, by companies that profited from my insecurities. That sounds like magazines to me. That sounds like Cosmopolitan saying, hey, you're too whatever, buy our product and you'll be better. That's what she's saying. She's not saying a goddamn thing about social media, and anybody who can't read what she says for what she says, I can't help you. I'm sorry, I can't help you. I get so mad about that because people love to run with the narrative that she was bullied off of social media, and she's not. She wasn't. She's talking about Hollywood, saying you're too fat, you're too Asian, you're too whatever. Yeah, they manipulate me so I buy their clothes, their makeup, their shoes in order to fill a void that was perpetuated by them in the first place. Like magazine covers. Like you walk by any magazine in the grocery store saying, hey, you're too fat, lose weight. Hey, you can't satisfy your man. Here's some tricks to do so. Here, your shoes are ugly. You need the latest ones. You need this nice pair that are like $700. That is what she's talking about. And people who can't see that are so blinded by headline buzzwords, and that's where I come in. I come in and I pick apart the buzzwords and the headlines, and I try and make sense of it, and I rant and I yell. I know I do. Oh, the backlash eventually became organized enough to warrant response from Disney Last Jedi director Rian Johnson himself. No, Rian Johnson himself is for lack of a better term, a giant man baby. He is somebody who is so up his own ass that his feet are brown, right? He doesn't understand that people will dislike his movie. And we're in the day and age, and he's old enough to probably have been around before social media. We're in the day and age where everybody has instant access to him. He probably has 1 million people flooding his inbox every day on Twitter, and he's not used to it. And it's got to be overwhelming. I get overwhelmed, and I only have 1,000 followers on Twitter. I get overwhelmed, and I can't get to everybody. But when you have somebody who's so fragile in their ego, like Rian Johnson, he can't handle it. So, of course, he lashes out because he is one of these fragile, self-absorbed Hollywood types who are so used to being told how wonderful they are that they fall apart when they're told, hey, your movie kind of sucked. And I'm sure some fans are out there, they're giving him a little bit more than, hey, your movie sucks. But at the same time, you have tools at your disposal. You can remove yourself from that. You can mute these people. You can block these people. You don't have to argue with them. You don't have to antagonize them. Meanwhile, these trolls launched an entire campaign to finance their own fan-made Star Wars film. Well, yeah, that was bull, and we knew that wasn't going to happen. It's fucking insanity, and let me take a moment right here to remind you that this is a family movie largely designed to sell toys to children. They're not selling toys to children, though. They're selling toys to grown adult collectors. Guess who the target demographic of Star Wars fans are? Adults. Guess what? And, I went over this on my Star Wars, what's the latest cartoon? It wasn't Resistance. It was the one where they rehashed all the original voice actors. And they used the original clips that, I can't remember the name of it. I'll link that video in the description below, too. It shows the exact percentage of Star Wars fans that are children, which is like none. You have like 10% of fans maybe that are children. Most of the fans of Star Wars, you have a good, overwhelmingly high percentage of your fans are over 20. Most of them are in that middle 30-year-old-ish sort of bracket. So why are you selling toys to children when all the fans are adults? Some industry analysis have suggested the lower than expected box office numbers of Solo could be a result of the Last Jedi backlash. Yes, it was. While it would be a stretch to imagine the trolls directly, if we're not trolls, we're just unhappy fans. We're just dissatisfied. You know what? You call us an asshole, we're not going to give you our money again. You call us names, we're not going to keep giving you money. Is it that hard to believe? Oh, Lord. Even if Lucasfilm and Disney are rightly ignoring its loudest and most bigoted critics out here, it's possible they might be encouraged after The Last Jedi to play it safe with Episode 9. It's certainly possible. We're not bigoted. We're just unhappy. We're dissatisfied customers. We don't want to be yelled at and called names. We're not going to give you money. It's certainly possible, especially considering Abrams' very safe Force Awakens, which I should know, fans also hated for being too safe. Well, we didn't hate it. I mean, it was better, but... Perhaps I'm just entirely too logged on. I most definitely am, but this conversation surrounding Star Wars has become something dark and horrible, something I dread reading about. As a kid, something like Star Wars seemed so simple. It was obvious who was good and who was evil. These movies themselves, even today, make that clear. Hate, fear, and tyranny is bad. Inclusion, hope, and democracy is good. But is it, though? You guys are certainly exclusive of old fans. You want our money, but you don't want anything to do with us because we're dirty and old and yucky. You want all the new money from all these little kids and millennials. And guess what? They don't care like we did. They don't love you like we did. We're the jilted ex that you're still kind of going back to for the booty call, wanting to pay your electric bill. Because your new 20-year-old girlfriend doesn't do it for you, can't support you, can't buy you things the way your 40-year-old ex can. That's exactly what we are. We're just a dollar sign to you. But back then, people had a public platform like social media to share their evil opinions directly with the filmmakers. And the filmmakers didn't have their evil, hatred, racist, sexist, hate speech giving it right back to us 10 times worse at some points. So you got to take one for the other, right? You've got to understand. The studios never did this before. The studios never lashed out at customers before. The studios would be like, oh, you don't like our movie? Okay, we'll make something else. And they wouldn't say anything. They wouldn't attack us. They wouldn't send these articles and these shills out there to basically paint us in this horrible light. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm tired of reading this article. I don't want to read anything else this guy has to say. We're not trolls. We're not horrible people. Let me skip to the end. Skip to the end. If the moral of Star Wars, the ones who applaud these films for better representing the people, ideas, and going to surround us stay silent, well, then the trolls control the narrative. No, the media is always trying to spin the narrative against us. We aren't horrible, evil people. We're not out there calling you guys, we're not out there saying, we don't want women in the movie. We want good women in the movie. We want Princess Leia. We want good characters. Nobody had a problem with Princess Leia. No one. No one had a problem with Ripley from Alien. No one had a problem with Sarah Connor. We want good quality females. We want to not have it shoved down our throat that they are women. We don't want you disrespecting the men. We don't want you being disrespectful and tearing down the men to make the women look good. What do you guys think? Tell me what you think in the comment section below. This is a long one, I'm sorry. It's a huge article and I had a lot to rant about, but thank you guys so much for watching. I am NeckaRandom42. You can find me on Twitter and Patreon and all the other things. And I will do my best to link as many as my Star Wars videos in the description below, especially the Kelly Marie Tran ones. And holy crap, these toxic studios are at it again, trying to get us. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video or live stream. Bye.